So we've completed task 1 and 2, and we are moving on to task 3. So we're going to give it a little heading of task number 3. We're going to move our closing comment. And for task 1 and 2, we were doing inner joins, which is the most restrictive. You only see records where that key that you're joining on is in both of the tables. What we're going to do now is a left join. And in a left join, it shows you everything from table 1. So the table that is after your from statement is table 1. It's going to give you everything from that table. And then it's going to look at that key that you're matching on. And it's going to retrieve related records in the table you are joining to. So we're going to go ahead and key one of these in. Going to be using the AP database. And in SQL Server Management Studio, if it says AP up here, technically you do not need to key in use AP each time. It is a really good habit to get into because other SQL systems require the use command. MySQL requires it. SSMS doesn't require it if it's shown here. Okay? And you can actually click the arrow and pick your database from here. I would like you guys to be in the habit of specifying the database that you want to use, just because if you end up on a different system, you will be fine. You'll have good habits and your commands will work. So we've got use AP, and the tables that we are using are vendors and invoices. And vendors is going to be table 1. Invoices is going to be table 2. And we are going to be joining them on vendor ID. So it's helpful if we take a look at the tables. So vendor ID is the column that the two tables have in common. You'll notice it is the primary key in vendors and the foreign key in invoices. So your from table is going to be the one where the column that you're connecting or joining on is the primary key. So vendors is going to be table 1. Invoices is going to be table 2. And it's simply based on that column that we're joining the tables on. Primary key in vendors, so that one becomes the from table or the table 1. So I'm going to key and select without anything after it. And we're going to do our from. And we know that it has to be vendors because vendor ID is what we're connecting on. And vendor ID is the primary key in the vendors table. And we'll go ahead and give it an alias. And we're going to do a left join. And we are joining vendors to invoices. And we'll give that an alias of I. So basically what this means is it's going to basically display everything from vendors, and it's only going to display invoices where the vendor ID matches. So it's going to go through our vendors table, look at every single ID. It's going to go to invoices to see if there's a matching vendor ID on each invoice. And if the vendor ID matches, it displays. So we've said our table 1 is vendor, our table 2 is invoices. We still need to tell it what we're joining on, and it's going to be vendor ID. So we've got v dot, and we want vendor ID. setting that equal to I dot, and that should also be vendor ID. And we do want to sort it, but before we do our sort, we're going to come up here and enter our columns. So we want vendor name from the vendor table. So we've got V dot, and then we're going to choose vendor name. And from our invoices table, we want invoice number. So I dot invoice number, and then we want invoices total from the invoices table. And that pretty much completes it. We just need to tell it how we want to sort, and we are going to sort by the vendor name. Okay, so at this point, we're ready to run it. It is going to show us everything that's in vendors and the matching rows from invoices. So we're getting everything from our vendors table. And you will notice that it's showing us the matching invoice, but for some of the vendors, we don't have an invoice. So it's showing null. And that is very typical if you do a left or a right join. Whenever you're pulling in everything from one table and displaying records that match that are in another, could very well be that you don't have records that match. Perhaps American Express and American Booksellers are new vendors. They haven't created an invoice yet. Okay, so it's not unusual to see nulls if you do a left join or you do a right join. So we're going to move our closing comment down. We're going to do another one of these left joins. And for this particular one, we're going to be dealing with departments and employees. So if we take a look at departments and employees, we need to look at the examples database. And we want to look at employees and departments. So departments is pretty small. It's only got department number and department name. And if we look down in employees, we have department number. Okay, and department number is a primary key in the department table. So that tells me our from table is going to be departments. And we're going to left join that to employees. So we are using examples, that database. We'll leave the select in there without columns for a second. Our from table is the one with the primary key that we're joining on. So that is going to be departments. And we're going to give it an alias of D. And we're going to left join to employees. We're going to give that an alias of E. And what are we joining on? It is department number. So we're going to do D dot department number equal to E dot department number. And we're not going to worry about sorting this. What we want to display from those two tables is the department name, and that is from our department table. And we want the department number, also from the department table. And we want the employee's last name. So just those three columns. So it's going to pull in everything from departments, and then it's going to display the employees that are in the various departments. What it won't display is a new employee who has not been assigned to an department. So if you hire somebody new and you haven't put them in a department yet, they are not going to display in this type of query. So at this point, we're going to move our closing down and we are going to save our changes.